Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council. Today is August 8th, 2025. This meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before this meeting will begin, Ms. Grigland has an announcement.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to inform the whole body here that unfortunately, Member St. Germain has resigned from her position as the Youth Council for various reasons. So she appreciates all of our understanding for it, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Grigland. Vice Chair, please call roll.
Vice?
Here.
Feichthaler?
Here.
Halsey? Jax? Johnson?
Here.
Justum? Mansa Perez?
Here.
Paragonda? Riley? Salazar? Sanchez?
Here.
Skorzak?
Here.
Toro? Vargas?
Here.
Zapata Vasquez.
Here.
Thank you. Item 4, guest speakers. Currently, we have no guest speakers. Item 5 is changes to the agenda/adoption of agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Member Feichthaler?
Motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Member Sanchez?
I second.
Member Feichthaler made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, item 6 is review of meeting notes. Are there any changes to the meeting notes? Do we have a motion to adopt the meeting notes as presented? Vice Chair Brown?
I motion to adopt the meeting notes as presented.
Is there a second? Member Jax?
I second this motion.
Vice Chair Brown made the motion and Member Jax seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Item 7 is recognition and achievements. Currently, we have no recognitions. Item 8 is advisor presentations. I will now turn the floor over to Advisor Hayden.
Thanks, Chair. Couple updates on council's work this week. They had a budget workshop on Tuesday, and I guess the big thing that came out of that is they took consensus, and the consensus was not to raise the tax rate, but there was consensus to raise the fire service assessment by 11%, which basically means that for the average homeowner, that'll be about an extra $74 a year. And the main reason for that is the overall budget is $1.5 billion that they will approve next month, and that FSA helps cover expenses within the budget. And then on Wednesday at the council meeting, I guess the big things that were discussed. There was a couple of grants that we got from the Tourist Development Council, Lee County, to pay for beach renourishment and to, I believe, pay for bathrooms at another one of the parks. So that totaled a little over $1 million for that. And then they also set deadlines to have the boathouse demolished and move forward with a possible new lease with the Kearns Group. So for those that don't know, the boathouse burned down last year, and ever since then, what's left of that structure has remained, and it's become a safety hazard for people. And council wants to make that a priority to get that down, so the city isn't liable for anything that might come up. So those were some of the big things that came from council. They also decided that was their final budget workshop, so their next budget hearings will be in September when they set the tentative rates And then they have their final budget hearing, I think the 3rd or 4th week of September, to pass next year's budget. It's a good budget that prioritizes police and fire, adding personnel there. And if you saw, the crime rate was down, I think, 25% in our city, which is a great testament to the police department and their efforts moving forward. And obviously with school starting in a few days, that's crucial. And remind your parents that the school zone cameras will be working. And if you saw, I think they issued over 12,000 tickets last year. So this is important for the safety of you and moving forward in the school zone. So that's all for me for now.
Thank you, Advisor Hayden. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. Item 9 is citizens' input. This consists of input of citizens on matters concerning city government. 3 minutes per individual. The council will listen to all speakers and respond after all speakers have made their presentations. I will now read the Pledge of Civility. We will be respectful of each other even when we disagree. We will direct all comments to the issues. We will avoid personal attacks. Citizens' input is now open. Any members of the public wishing to speak, please use the podium to your right, facing the dais, and state your name for the record. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, citizens' input is now closed. Item 10 is the quarterly report. In the last meeting, we voted on the schedule for the quarterly report, in which we decided to have our quarterly report in the months of August, December, and April. Our first one is taking place during the City Council meeting held on August 27th at 4 p.m. in Council Chambers. This presentation is extremely important for us as a council, as it gives us an opportunity to formally introduce ourselves to the City Council members and update them on all the projects we have been working on. So I expect almost to full attendance. So before we get into the actual quarterly report, I would like to take a head count on who thinks they can be in attendance. Please raise your hand. Okay, let me write this down. Okay. Will be one of the first things on the agenda, so hopefully we'll be out of there like 4:30. Okay, so Isabel Vacquez, Vargas. And then once I know who can come, we can make an I'll write in the group chat, assign people roles and what to say. Sanchez, Brown, Johnson, Jax. $5, your hand up. Yes. It is the 27th at 4 p.m. here. Okay. And Bice. And then I will also be in attendance. And then I will reach out to anyone else in our group chat who can come. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect, and hopefully more for the people that aren't here. Okay. At the last meeting, members Paragonda, Zabata Vasquez, along with Vice Chair Brown, were assigned to work on a draft of the quarterly report. You will find it in your backup material, and so please take a moment to review it now. If you see any mistakes or if you think anything should be added, please let us know. I will now give Vice Chair Brown a chance to briefly go over what is on their quarterly report, and when she's finished, please raise your hand if you think that anything needs to be added.
Thank you, Chair. We opened our presentation with a brief overview of all of our senior members, our junior members, our communications director, and we made sure that we put every logo of every student represented at this dais onto our presentation. We opened with the senior project and then explained the survey, what the survey is going to be focused on, how the data will be collected and presented to the Lee County School Board and the City of Cape Coral. We explained the junior project, the drive-in movie, the different dates based on their holiday. We expanded on the school reach-out program, which I believe we're continuing on this year. And then Hope for the Holidays, we explained we'll be hosting a toy drive. It's holiday-based around Christmas time. And then we did the meet and greet. I believe we have to add the date of the meet and greet into the presentation. Adopt a Road, we explained the recurring projects, the cleanups, where the cleanup takes place. The Lovelock statue, we explained what members were involved with keeping up with the project, where the project is going to be placed, and what it was. We explained our next meeting, which is September 12th, 2025 at 3 p.m., and invited all of the council members to join us. And I think, yeah, we closed with any questions that any of the council members may have for us and open-ended response.
Perfect, thank you. So at this time, if anyone has any questions, Member Johnson?
A couple things for under the senior project. Mariner is missed in the 6 local high schools, to add that. And then I also asked that if we could add the purpose of the project, so to educate and raise awareness about mental health among high school students in Cape Coral. Maybe to start it off before talking about like the survey be sent to 6 local high schools. But other than that, looks great.
Yeah,
And then the purpose that I just said, it was in, I can send you an email of like the wording of it that I had.
does anyone else have anything they see differently, name spelled wrong or anything like that? The only other thing I would say is that now that Member St. Germain is no longer a part of the youth council, to remove her picture and, right? And then, yeah, just the meet and greet. And I believe everything else looks good, specifically grammar-wise. Oh, and then the senior project, the school reach-out program, we might have to change that based on, because today we're deciding if we're continuing it or not. So if we do not continue it, we might have to change up the wording a little bit or not. But so far, it looks good. So I have a question. Can I make a motion of what it is right now along with additional edits, or do I need a motion at all? Just to adopt this presentation as the one we're giving at the... There's a few things that need to be edited. Yeah, the meeting will happen before. Okay. Let me just, okay. Add date. I'm just gonna write down all the edits so that I can say it all in one thing.
When you get done with those edits, I'll have one more for you.
I think I have them all down. What would be the other edit?
You might want to add the date, time, and location of the meet and greet.
Yes. Date, time, location.
That way the council members will have it at least that night top of mind.
Okay, and then Member Johnson, it was adding the purpose to the mental health project and adding Mariner as well. Okay, perfect. So, do I have a motion to adopt the current presentation along with the additional edits of adding the date, time, location for the meet and greet at Nice Guys, the removal of Member St. Germain, adding the purpose to the mental health project, and adding Mariner to the mental health project section of the quarterly report? Member Feichthaler.
Motion to adopt the edits.
Is there a second? Member Zapata Vasquez.
I second that.
Member Feichthaler made the motion and Member Zapata Vasquez second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Perfect. Okay. Yes. Okay, yes. Okay, so you, and I'll send in that group chat as well, okay. Item 11 is business. 11A, the amended rules of operations and procedures. At the last meeting, we voted on an amendment to our rules and operations and procedures. This amendment included giving one of the members on the council the opportunity to take on the role of a backup communication director if ours was not able to make the meeting. The responsibilities would include making posts on our social media as well as assisting in designing any posters needed if our current communication director was not there. We must now decide who will take on this role. Are there any volunteers to become the backup communications director? Members of Alta Vasquez? And then Member Monteprez, you're interested? Okay, so, since there is more than one person interested in this position, I will give you each an opportunity to briefly explain why you're interested in this role and why you be a good fit. Members of Alta Vasquez, would you like to start? Just briefly, why would you want the position?
Okay, so I'm actually the communications officer for my battalion, JRTC, so I do have some experience in social media as well as making posters and just like getting the word out. So I feel like I would be a good fit since I already have some experience in working in the social media, and I would enjoy if it was given to me. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, Member Monteprez.
Okay, so I do run a couple of social media pages. I have 4 for my school. So I run, I'm in addition to running CCHS Class of 2026, I'm also have my own club, Her Haven, at Cape Coral High School, and it's about empowering women. I also run the account for that one. I also do Vice President Pre-Law Society, so I'm also on the page for that one, and I just started my other project, which is Smiles for Strength, which is a cancer giving back to ill kids for Christmas, and I'm also running that social media page. So I feel like I have quite the background to running social media pages, so yeah, I'm just interested in that.
Okay, cool, thank you. So is there any discussion or any questions someone has for these members? Okay, then we will go right into taking a vote. So if you would like to have member Zapata Vasquez as our backup communication director, please raise your hand. Okay. You can vote for yourself. I'm just, 1, 2, 3, okay. And then if you would like to have member Monso Perez as our backup communication director, please raise your hand. Okay. So as member Montes Perez received 6 votes and member Zapata Vasquez received 3 votes, member Montes Perez will become our backup communication director. So do I have a motion to appoint member Montes Perez as our backup communication director? Member Sanchez, is there a second? Member Feichthaler?
I second that.
Member Sanchez made the motion and member Feichthaler seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Member Monteprez, I'll get you in contact with Ambrielle, let her know that you're the backup, so if she needs any help with anything, you'll be there. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll now be moving on to item 11B, strategic plan/initiatives. In the backup material, you have been provided with 2 documents regarding the strategic plan and initiatives. One of them being focused specifically on the first and second ring of the strategic plan, and the other one is our strategic plan with edits and adjustments that we discussed last meeting. If you could, please take a second and look through both of these documents now, and if you see anything that needs to be changed or added, please let us know as I open, Before I open the floor to discussion, I'll go through what I added for the strategic plan, and then we'll go into the research done for the first and second ring. So if you open up, does everyone have the strategic plan open? The one that says 2025, 2026 at the top? Does everyone see it? Okay, so I'll just go through what I added or what I changed, and then you guys can let me know if you think there needs to be additional changes or if the wording of something was off. So under internal SWOTs and strength, I changed different schools' representation from a diverse group to representation from every Cape Coral High School from my diverse group, because now we have every school. Wait. Without member St. Germain, we don't have Northern Myers.
We do for a junior.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Never mind. Okay, perfect, so we can keep that. Okay, and then under internal SWOT weaknesses, I removed representative democracy because we now have that. And then I added inconsistent attendance at meetings by members. The last couple meetings, I know it's hard to have everyone here, but I feel like there's been a significant amount. I know there's reasons, so but I feel like that's one of our biggest issues at the point, so I just put that under weaknesses. Under internal SWAT threats, I removed inability to connect with community and understand the real needs. And I actually added ability to connect with community, understand the real needs to strengths, because specifically because our school reach out program, we were able to connect with our citizens and our community. So, and I had a whole questionnaire on what their needs were. So I feel like that is a strength now. I don't think that's a threat. And then under strategic initiatives, people, I changed Chair Garcia's responsible for tracking at the FLC conference to Chair Skorzak. Under Vice Chair Feichthaler is responsible to monitor, and that whole section, I changed it to Vice Chair Brown is responsible to monitor. And then this part still needs to be decided on based on if we're doing the the school reach out program, because it says collecting citizen input through visit schools and reports quarterly assigned to member Wittich. So that's one thing that has to still be decided on. Under strategic initiative physical assets, I changed finish and install the Love Us project overseen by member DePeyron to finish and install the Love Us project overseen by member Jackson Feichthaler. Under strategic initiatives physical assets, I basically removed the entirety of what it is now because that was busting his backpack and we're no longer doing it. I wrote something new, but this is definitely can be changed. I said, organizing a meet and greet in Cape Coral to explain our mission as a council and raise money for our upcoming projects. Our goal is to receive enough donations to fund the supplies and material necessary for our drive and movie theater project and our Hope for the Holidays toy drive, while also being able to fund a trip to the National League of Cities Conference in Washington, D.C. And then I didn't say who would oversee this project because it's kind of multiple people, but I can still add that in. There's a couple more things, I'm so sorry. Under strategic initiative message internal, it was maintain a clear communication system through the group text assigned to Chair Garcia. I changed that to assigned to Chair Skorzak. It said assigned to Chair Garcia reporting quarterly on what percentage of the to-do list was completed. I changed that to Chair Skorzak. And then the last section under strategic initiatives message external, I removed set up youth council booths at one or more city events. Well, actually, maybe we could keep that because we might be doing that. I'll put it in that. But I originally removed it, and then, hold on. Okay, and then it says the part where we decided depending on if we continue the project, it says it was about the school reach out program, so that still has to be decided. And then the last thing I changed was assigned to member Muncie and will report quarterly. That's now assigned to member Johnson. So I know that was a lot and probably very overwhelming, but that is on the document you're seeing, those are all the changes compared to our original one. So, is there anything else we would like to change? Or if there needs to be rewording, please let me know. Okay.
Chair,
Yes.
just something to keep in mind, and you may have said it, but obviously where it says the last part, the message external regarding the school outreach, if you guys do continue that,
Yeah,
we'll have to determine member Wittich is who the new person is.
Yes, that
Perfect.
was, yeah, I didn't finish reading that whole section because it was, I forgot what I was saying there, to be honest. Then, okay, and then when it regards to the first and second ring, member Paragonda, as well as two other members, worked on creating or just researching things to add to there. So if you scroll down on that same document, she added our population demographics, specifically all their age groups, the racial distribution in our city, environmental changes, and environmental issues, effects, and then other environmental risks. Oh, I also added that to the strategic initiatives. I added the other risks in our city. Yeah, my only question is, I didn't add this research specifically because I didn't know how exactly to factor it in to the first and second ring. So if Advisor Hayden, you would give some input on that.
Yeah, I think with the demographics, the first ring talked about a specific age group, 12 to
Yeah.
25, I believe. So I would pinpoint that age group, and you can do that with a graphic if you want to, because it shows the total population.
Okay.
And then then it's got kind of another part of it that just shows the percentages and all that. I would define it just to that specific area, since that's what the ring talks about.
Yeah,
I think that would be the easiest way to do that one.
okay. And then the racial stuff, should we add that in also, like, under that, like, I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
I was trying to format it, but then it was kind of complicated.
I think I may send an email to M. Paragonda about, this, I guess some parts of that demographic information I'm concerned about it, not so much with the age group
Yeah.
and the breakdown of population, but, I am concerned about the ethnicity part of it
Yeah.
and the median age. I think that median age is way too high.
It looked high for me,
Yeah, 'cause
especially in the recent
I
years.
thought it was
if you have one.
42, 43, so.
Yeah,
I think, for that part of, for the median age and the breakdown of, by race, I think that part of it, probably needs to be continued to the next meetings, so that she'll be here
yeah,
to talk about that, and I will send her an email to give that part of it another attempt, but
Yeah.
even with the demographics, I think, have your discussion, but I think from the demographics on down through race, probably needs to be defined a little bit better, and so that you can have that vote at the next meeting. The other parts where you've assigned specific people
yeah,
to different projects, I think you can go ahead and make those motions today. But
Yeah.
I think that with the demographic and the race part of it, I think that part of it, that discussion needs to continue, so we can hone in a little bit better
Yeah.
on.
and I was,
That's my suggestion.
No, I
If you want to
agree.
if you want to take a different route, that's fine.
no, I agree completely, but do you think we should include the age groups of everyone, or just like the teens specifically, because that's what we're focusing on?
Well, that's what I was talking about, the 12 to 25.
Yeah.
Because that's what the ring specifically talks about.
Okay. So you'll reach out to her, I'll reach out for more on that, because also in our strategic plan, it should be written like, not paragraph format, but like in like written instead of like graphs more or less. Okay,
Yeah, and then you all can decide how you want to display in the strategic plan, if you want to go with a graphic, or if you want to go with a bar chart, or if you want to go with, how she listed it. But I think with her not being here, it's kind of hard to have
yeah,
that part of the discussion today.
okay. And then, does anyone else have any discussions or questions? Okay. I think we should hold on a motion to adopt this because we still have to decide on the school reach out program today, and also adjust the first and second ring. So if we can get that all taken care of before next meeting, then we can adopt it all as one whole document and it could just be finalized. So that's where we're at so far with the strategic initiatives. And I think we're making good progress. There's definitely a lot of things to be changed, so I think we're on our way. This always takes a while in the beginning of the term because there's a lot of changes between the terms, and
Yeah, and you're well on your way.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't, now that you've made those initial changes,
Yeah.
and then we continue the discussion, so it wasn't something that needed to be
Yeah.
completed today.
And then I have a question. We discussed a $20,000 goal for our meet and greet. Should I add that to physical assets, like that number, or just say our goal to raise funds for these projects?
Yeah, I don't know that I'd go a specific amount.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Not in a strategic plan, yeah.
So, okay, that's fine. I just wanted to know because we had where it was blessings for a backpack, there was a specific numerical goal, so I don't know if.
Yeah, because I think, in future years, the League of Cities will always be in play.
Yeah.
For future years, the Christmas thing will always be in play as a
Yeah.
possible fundraiser, so, the intent with any strategic plan is to update it, but not get too specific
Yeah.
that you're constantly changing
Yeah.
the
Okay.
strategic plan.
Perfect. That works with me. Any final questions? Okay. We'll now move on to item 11C, adopt a road, continued discussion and debrief. Last month, on July 12th, the council took part in our first adopt a road. We had 10 members in attendance and collected 10 bags of trash. As a reminder, because we decided to partake in the adopt a roads every other month, our next one will take place on Saturday, September 13th. This also means that for everyone that missed last month's event, I should expect to see you all there because due to our 70% attendance policy, you are only allowed to have one excused absence. So is that clear with everyone? If you're not there last time, you're supposed to be there the 13th. Okay, and then since it was our first adopt a road, I thought we should have a chance to make a little debrief. So at this time, I'll now open the floor to anyone that did attend the adopt a road to have a chance to debrief their experience. Okay, I can go first. I thought it was great. Obviously waking up in the morning isn't always the funnest thing, especially on a Saturday, but I love doing the adopt roads because it gives us a chance to directly partly solve an issue in our community. There's so much trash. People are always throwing random things away in our streets, and doing our little part always makes me feel good. So yeah, I'm glad that we're continuing it this term, and I thought it was a very successful experience. Anyone else have anything to say?
So what was the craziest thing you picked up?
Yeah,
Huh?
lots of adults.
She doesn't know if she can say it.
Yeah, adult paraphernalia. That's a good word.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of broad.
Let's leave it as broad as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Member Sanchez, yes, what's your question?
I was looking at the other Adopt a Road meetings, and one of them is in March 14th, but that, March 13th to March 16th, we would be at the National League of Nations.
League of Cities. Oh.
So how would that work out?
We would probably end up changing that date as long as we are still planning on going to National League of Cities. You said the 14th?
Yeah, the 14th.
Okay, perfect. I will keep that in mind. We can discuss that when it gets closer to that date. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Member Vargas, did you have something to say?
I would like to add that I like the idea of having it every 2 months because I think we did pick up a good chunk of trash instead of every month where we're just walking, trying to find stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, thank you for your input. Okay, as there's no more discussion, I will move on now to item 11D, junior project. At the last meeting.
Chair,
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry.
No.
The whole reason for the adopt a road is we need to change the date for the November meeting. Did we change the date?
No. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
The November, what day is it?
So the Saturday, November the 8th is the day that we're going up to.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yes. Okay, so Saturday, November the 8th is when we are going to go to the FLC Youth Council Summit. So we must now decide if we want to have it Saturday, November 1st or Saturday, November 15th. I will now open the floor discussion. You guys can check your calendars, which day works for you guys. Yeah, November 1st, it would be in the morning at 7:30 or November 15th. I believe both dates work for me. I will have to double check, but. Is there anyone that knows they can't make either date? Members of Alta Vasquez?
I would not be able to make it November 15th because I am marching in the Veterans Parade for JRTC.
Member Johnson?
I can't make either date because I have cheer competitions on both of those.
That's fine. You were at the last one.
That can just be my one though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You said you wouldn't make November 15th, but the 1st would work with you? Does the 1st work with the majority of us? It would be the day after Halloween. Let's keep that also in mind. So, and it is early. I mean, November 1st would be the day after Halloween. So as long as that is fine with everyone, I think the 1st works with me as well. I'm double checking now. Wait. Yeah, November 1st. Okay, wait. Is November 1st not a Sunday? So is my, Okay, my calendar is just, okay, never mind, I was looking the wrong year. Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay, so November 1st, that works with everyone? Any discussion? Okay. Do I have a motion to change the November Adopt a Road from the 8th to now November 1st, 2025? Member Sanchez?
I motion to change the date to November 1st.
Is there a second? Member Jax?
Second this motion.
Member Sanchez made the motion, Member Jax seconded it. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Don't know how I skipped that. Okay. Now, item 11D, junior project. At the last meeting, we decided to go with Member Sanchez's drive-in movie idea for our senior project and have Member Brown's Hope for the Holiday project as an additional element to go along with the special Christmas-themed drive-in movie we would have a booth for. As a first step in executing this plan, Member Sanchez, along with other members at the committee meeting, worked on this project on our steps moving forward. I will now turn the floor over to her to go over the things we discussed and how we're going to move this project forward.
Okay, so there was some changes made at the committee meeting on August 2nd. I had some dates picked out, and then it was brought to my attention that those dates were awfully close to some city events that were happening, some movie nights for the city. So we have decided that a good compromise would be to merge and have a booth at both of their events. And then on the February movie night, we would instead have our own movie night that day. So we're talking to the Parks and Recreation wing, and we're still talking to her about what events they are and if we can join. But if that were to happen, we'd probably have a dunking booth at the October 17th one. So that would be our first date, and then the second date would be December 20th. And yeah. So the dunk tank would also go towards. It would still be raising the money for our cause to go to the League of Cities, and it would be at Four Freedoms Park instead of Cultural Park, which February 20th or 14th would be at Cultural Park. So that's the only change. And so that's, I think, all we've got.
So, yes. So just to recap, instead of hosting our own 3 movie events, we're going to have one that we host all our own in February, and then our hope is to have a booth at the movie in the park in October and the Christmas movie the city puts on in December. That way we can introduce ourselves to people, raise more money, and just see basically how they run theirs, so that can give us better preparation of how we do. And so we'll be continuing to contact Ms. Carrie Rams, our Parks and Rec advisor, on steps to be a part of those events. Member Johnson.
Just to give a little bit of information on the dunk booth. So I have 2 contacts of dunk booths that I'm going to contact once we're for sure that we can go to that, the first movie date. So I'll contact them and see if they donate. I just wanted to clarify that these dunk booths are around, I would probably say $300 to $400. So if they aren't going to donate them, I think we either need to come up with a plan to change what we're doing, because I think spending $400 is going to be, we're going to go 5-6 back instead of forward. So I will try my best to get it donated. I do have 2 to 3 contacts that I'm going to contact once everything's confirmed, but I just want, maybe if we can brainstorm other ideas if they do not pull through.
Okay. Thank you. I have a question. What is the date of the December one again?
The date of the December one would be the 20th.
Okay.
It's a Saturday.
Okay. And then Member Johnson, for the dunk tank, when do you think you'll be able to find out if it will be donated or not?
Well, I'll email them once we confirm that we would be able to bring the dunk tank in.
Yeah.
And then however long it takes. So the day we find out that it's we're good to go, I can email them, and then however long it takes them to respond to me. But I don't know a exact timeline from them.
That's fine. Thank you. Okay. So I think moving forward, Member Sanchez, if you could contact Ms. Carrie Rams again, explain that we just want a booth at these events. It would just be a table. We would run it. They weren't asking anything. We're not asking for anything else. And then if she approves, or if she, because in her emails, she said that it was another department's responsibility, so if that department approves, then we can go keep moving forward to that. So that would be, I would say, our first step moving forward, continue emailing her, explaining everything and only what we want. Okay. Is there any discussion? Member Scrivener, is there anything?
So just so I'm clear too, we're not charging
No.
the members or the residents to come in. The only charge would be if we had the dunk booth and, okay.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was clear on the record because there was a lot of confusion.
Yes.
But there is no charge to the event. The only funds we would be collecting was if the dunk booth was available to us, and then obviously, as you know what a dunk booth is, we would collect money for that.
Yeah. Also, if the dunk booth does not work out, if you could research another opportunity to raise money, not a raffle basket. A game, yeah, like we're gonna do at Trunk or Treat. Oh, that's cute. I like that. I like that idea. Member Feightfeller?
I don't know if this would work because it might be messy, but if we needed another idea, like a pie in the face thing could be one.
Yeah, be honest.
But you might also have to clean up a lot every time you get pie.
If we did a dunk tank.
Yeah.
Someone's soaking wet. Okay, I like those ideas. Okay, and then my other question is, so for our own that we're hopefully going to do in Cultural Park, who would be the first step we contacted them to see if we can have that day or that land approved for that day?
So based on Mrs. Ram's email to us, it sounds like we're gonna have to reach out to special events, which is in Parks and Recs. So I'm sure she could give us a better contact, in that level where we would need to reach out to.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
And so your special events person will be Todd King.
what is his name, sorry?
Todd King, K-I-N-G, he's the special events director. He'd be your best person. You might as well start right at the top. And
Yeah, thank you.
We could also invite him to our meeting, our next event
Mini
meeting.
meeting?
if you want.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, because we were gonna do the 5th, right? That date doesn't work with me anymore, or the 6th. The date doesn't work with me anymore, so if we could, yeah. Okay, are ready to move on? Okay. Now, item 11E is the senior project. Similarly, at the last meeting, we also decided on a project for the seniors to work on. The project that we chose was Member Johnson's mental health project, and she has created a month-by-month plan on how we will carry out this project. I will now turn the floor over to her to explain her goals. This document is in your backup material.
Okay, I have a lot of information, so everybody buckle in. So I'm just gonna go over my month-by-month plan first, and then a couple notes I have along the way. So August, so this month, once school starts on Monday, so next week, I'll contact both the superintendents of the Lee County schools and the charter schools, and ask for permission and support to conduct this project within the high schools in Cape Coral. And in the backup material, you see both of their emails in there as well. After that, I'm gonna contact all schools and ask for permission with them and make sure that we're on the same page. And with this part, I might need help from members
Yeah,
if I don't get answers back, to go to your principal, tell them that they have an email in their inbox, explain the project to them. If I don't get responses, obviously, I can also go through the superintendent as well, but I would like to make sure we're on a good basis with all the schools before we conduct this project. And then I also want to finalize all the survey questions and determine what platform we best use for this project. Two popular ones are Google Form and SurveyMonkey. I have been leaning more towards Google Forms only because I think it'd be better if we did a separate Google Form for each school so we could there's an even split between all the schools. But if somebody else thinks that SurveyMonkey is better or whatever, I'm open to hearing about that, if that would be better. In September, get the survey approved by council, so I'll write up the survey, make sure it's all good, put it in the backup materials so everybody can access it, check for grammar, all those mistakes, make sure it's functional so you can log in with it maybe fill out like a sample one just to make sure it's all good, and then send up follow-up emails to any schools who have not answered or answer any questions principals may have. In October, if all this goes to plan, I want to send out the survey on October 1st and give the schools a week to complete it. And then after that, or for the rest of the month, myself and a group of members, we can go through all the surveys and sort the responses. The best way I think this is going to work is if a group of however many of us, we meet together outside of the meetings, because it's going to be hard to go through the responses separately. So if we did it together, I think it'd be easier. Obviously, we can do that later on. November, continue going through all the surveys, and then start making the presentation with all of the data we collect, along with contacting people needed, the people we need to present at the charter school board meeting, Lee County School Board meeting, and city council meeting. And then also come up with a plan to present to the public, any like medical professionals I was thinking we could do kind of like, not like a meet and greet, but a presentation in here with the public and anybody else that wants to hear about it. In December, keep going through surveys if we need to, finish making the presentations, and then possibly start presentations depending on what the availability of the people we need to present to are. January, start presentations if we haven't already, and then February to April, finish presentations if they're not done already. I also have, so I can answer any questions about any of that first, and then I also have a bunch of question ideas that I want to say, and then maybe figure out a way where we can come down to our final questions today. Or, yeah. So if you guys want to ask any questions first.
I have a couple, but I'll let Member Fikdahl
Okay.
go first.
It's not really a question, but my only thing is that I think Google Docs is Google Forms
Okay.
is probably better. I think with SurveyMonkey, you might have to make an account to use it. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
But Google Forms
And,
is also
yeah,
way easier to
I
edit.
know all the schools use Google Forms, so I was figuring that might be easier too. Thank you.
Yeah, is there anything? Okay, I was going to say I prefer Google Forms as well. I think it's easier. When it comes to emailing the schools, I think, especially the senior members, because we're all supposed to be involved in this project, we can each have a school to email or just also be a part of that, just so everyone is doing their part and then it's not all on you.
I think the only part with emails is I'll definitely add everybody to the emails, but
Okay.
last year I had a couple problems with like kind of making sure it was all in one place, so I'll probably just email them one email, and then I can just CC everybody in the email,
Okay.
just to make sure it's all organized, because I don't want losing any emails or whatever. But I definitely want to make sure everybody's involved in this with the process of picking the questions, organizing the responses, making the presentation, and even if ways they want to write the email, everything can be with all of us.
Yes, I completely agree. And then like Member Johnson said, if you do go to one of the schools listed, if we haven't gotten a response, if you could go up to your assistant principal, your principal, let them know, that would be very appreciated. And then my other question was, do you think having it only open for a week is enough time to get the amount of responses we needed?
So that was just like a guesstimate. Obviously, if we want to do longer, we can. I think the only reason I did a week was so it wasn't open too long, but if we think we should open it for more, then I think that's completely fine. But that's just something we can decide as a group.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe at least 2 weeks to give
Okay.
people time, someone's on vacation, someone's absent.
Okay.
Just, you never know.
I just definitely want like a start date and an end date, so
Yeah.
it's not open too long.
No, yeah, for sure. So then October 1st, and then whatever 2 weeks after that. Oh, yes, my mom's breath.
It's not a question, but it's more of like adding extra time. I feel like adding extra time wouldn't be as much of a good idea as maybe adding like a reminder along the way, like maybe like asking if they could remind them like 5 days in or something like that, because either way, if you're absent to school, you still get Google Classroom like notifications, and it's gonna lose momentum over time. Like once we post it, a bunch of people are just gonna like respond to it, but after a while, it's not gonna get as many.
Yeah. So I think if we do 2 weeks, they can post it on Monday, and then the following Monday, we can set out a reminder, and then it can be due that Friday. That's just what I was thinking. Remember $5?
Just when it comes to adding time, do you think we would push the end date or make the start date earlier? Does it matter?
I would push the end date.
Yeah, push the end
I
date.
agree.
Just so we have enough time to make sure
Yeah.
it all works and stuff. I don't want to rush anything.
I agree. And then there was something else. Actually, no, I think that was it. I think this is a really good plan. I think we're obviously heading in the direction. So
I just have
now,
to do
yeah,
my
you can
questions.
go for the
Okay,
questions that you're thinking
so for the questions, obviously, there's a bunch of questions in here, like, ideas. If anybody has any more ideas, obviously tell me. I have yes and no questions, scale questions, and then open-ended questions. So I'm just gonna go through, all of them, and then, should I go through each style question and then open it for
Yeah.
discussion? Okay.
So you said yes and no, open-ended, and what was the last one?
Scale question, so like 1, strongly disagree, 5, strongly agree.
Okay.
Okay, so starting with our yes and no questions, a question that I want to make sure is in it is the asking of, do you have a 504 IEP plan, just to know like how many students out of the whole body have those kind of plans. The next one is, do you feel your school provides enough support for students with mental health? Are your accommodations easily accessible at your school? And then maybe put like a little explain thing under there if they want to explain. Have you ever avoided getting help because you were afraid of what others might think? Another like a little explain box. And then have you ever missed school because of stress, anxiety, or depression? With another explain box.
I really like all of those. I think they're directly saying what we want, well, asking what we want to say, and I feel like they're not too general, but they're direct enough.
Is there any of those questions that anybody feels like we should take out to kind of narrow it down?
What were the last two again?
The last two were, have you ever avoided getting help because you were afraid of what others might think? And then, have you ever missed school because of stress, anxiety, or depression?
No, I really like those. The one thing I'm going to say is this document, because you have a document right that you're reading.
Oh yeah, sorry, these ones aren't in it, but I can
Yeah.
send the
No,
document.
you're good.
Yeah.
If you could just send that
Yes.
to us to make sure also that, and also, have you made a senior-only group chat to work on this?
No, not yet.
So,
Yes.
all good, just so we can have that and work on specific questions. But yes, continue.
And then, so I'm gonna move on to the skill questions now. These would be, like, I don't know how we would format it, but it'd be, you'd put 1-ish, which is you strongly disagree with it, or 5, you strongly agree with it. Teachers and staff take students' mental health seriously. I feel comfortable going to a staff member or counselor at my school. I believe mental health is taken seriously amongst students here. And then I believe my school should do more to raise awareness about mental health. And these would just be like, you'd either answer 1 through 5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do any like
star
explaining on
figure,
these, yeah. And then going into my open-ended questions, I have, what causes you the most stress at school? What is your biggest challenge when dealing with your mental health during the school year? How has the school impacted your mental health, either positively or negatively? Can you describe a time when you felt supported by someone at school? What do you wish more people understood about mental health? And then how supported do you feel by teachers and staff? Explain.
And,
So these are all ideas.
Yeah.
So obviously, we're not gonna do all of these because this is too many
yeah,
questions.
that's what I was gonna say. I feel like
I would do 10 or less, if that.
10 or less
so-
total?
Yes, because I want it to be to the point, but I also want it to be to where they're not taking 30 minutes to do it. It should be like they can take it in 10 minutes. Obviously, if they want to spend more time on it, they can, but I don't want it to be too long to where it like causes disruption or anything. So those are the questions. I think that what I'm gonna do is I will send an email out with all of the questions, and then because I think that with all the time we have, would it be okay if people sent an email back with the ones they liked, and then we decided off that, or do we need to decide at a meeting? Okay, so if everybody's okay with it, I'm gonna send a doc with all of these questions, and then if you could email back maybe your top 5,
Yeah.
and then we can go off there. If we are doing the scale questions, we can obviously, I count the scale questions as one question because it's kind of like you just click a box. But I think between the yes and no's and the open-ended questions, we need to pick 5 of them. So if everybody could send back, after I send the email, send back the 5 you like the best, or just like the group that you like the best, so we can decide on then. And then I can send an email with our final questions after that.
I have a question. Are we taking their names? No,
No,
right?
this
It's
is
like
anonymous.
completely anonymous.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing that, we'll set it up so it's anonymous, the only thing we'll know is what school they go to.
Okay. Then, and we'll have that, there's like a feature that you can only submit like one response, right? So I just don't
Yeah.
want the same person.
So you'll only be able to submit once, yes.
Okay, perfect. Member Feichtall?
Is there a specific amount of questions of each type that you want in this document, or does it not matter to you?
It doesn't matter, I just, again, just don't want too many questions in it. Obviously, if there's more open-ended questions that we like more than like the yes and no questions, we can do that. If there's, we can do whatever. And if we do end up having, 8 questions, that's fine too. And I'll make sure they aren't all like required to answer. So if somebody wants to go in there and answer 3 of the questions, they can. They don't have to answer all 8. So we can kind of do it like that.
I feel like, Member Drax, yeah. That's okay. Oh, sorry,
I feel like if there's too many open-ended questions, I feel like some students may not have the motivation to like answer it in fully or put like their true thoughts into it. So I feel like less open-ended questions would be better and more like straightforward questions like
Okay.
multiple choice are better to
Okay.
yeah, I agree. I think we should still have like at least 2, but yeah.
We can always change the wording so it's like strongly agree or disagree or yes and no, whatever it is. And I was thinking if, even for our yes and no questions, we also put an explain box, so if people do want to explain further, they can, or if they just want to say yes or no, they can also do that.
Member Feigl, yeah.
On the questions, I know you said you weren't gonna make them mandatory, but what would you think about making all of them mandatory, but then the explain boxes are like
Yeah, we can do
optional?
that, yeah.
Okay.
But obviously, with everything with the format, I'm open to any ideas and any help with that. So once we put the questionnaire together, which I believe I said was next month, we can go over like how we're gonna do that. And I'll send out emails and texts a lot to make sure we get all on the same page.
And then the last thing is, I'm assuming this, but for our April quarterly report, we'll share our information to council.
Yeah, if that's the date, that probably would work, if that's okay with council.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's when we have one of our quarterly reports,
Yeah.
so I was just thinking that would have been a perfect time to share our information. Okay, I think that's good. So you'll send that email out as soon as you can.
Yes.
Everyone, this is just also a general thing. Make sure we're always reading all of our emails at all times. They always have additional information. Ms. Griglin's always teaching us stuff, and we always have, it can be a lot sometimes. I know there can be multiple emails, but we're reading all of them, we're responding to all of them. And yeah, also the meet and greet and things like that, we'll get into it, but like there is a are you attending little email thing, so if you guys haven't responded to that, please do so. Okay.
Chair, I'm
Yes.
sorry. If we may offer one suggestion, I know you said your questions were gonna be as is, but you may wanna put maybe an additional box at the end that allows them to put anything additional.
Yeah, okay,
Maybe there's something that they really want to say, but none of your questions related to that.
Yeah.
So it just gives them an opportunity to add
I think that's a good idea. Okay, thank you.
Well, I can't take full credit, that's assistant city.
Great. Okay, is there any final discussion? Okay, perfect. So now we will move on to item 11F, school reach out project. At the last meeting, we had decided to not have the school reach out project as our senior project. Also, due to time constraints, we decided to move the decision on whether or not we would continue this project to today's meeting. So we must now decide if we want to continue this project with the entire council or if we would like to not continue in this term. We have to make a decision by the end of this meeting. I personally recommend we continue this project in this term as an additional project that we can work on all and attend. The School Reach Out program was an amazing outlet for us last year as we were able to communicate directly with the youth and educate them about our city, as well as give them a space to voice their opinions, ideas, and concerns. As we have visited 4 out of the 6 high schools in Cape Coral, the goal would be to visit the other 2. Also, if we do move forward with it, we have to assign someone else to run it and contact the schools throughout the process. I would be more than willing to help in this aspect of the project, but having another member would also be great. So now I'd like to open the floor to discuss this program and whether or not we would like to proceed with this. So open for discussion. Member Sanchez.
I personally think this is a great opportunity because the way I learned of the youth council was because of how they went to North and they talked to all of us. Like they came to visit our SGA and it really like engaged and it really got me interested in this. If it wasn't for that opportunity, I probably wouldn't have known about the youth council.
Okay. Member Monteperez.
So I don't think you guys went to Cape Coral High last year.
That's one of the ones. We have to go to Cape Coral and Mariner.
I think that this is a great program because if I had known about youth council before, I would have joined in my junior year instead. And I just think I'd be very interested as also being your other member to it. So I think this is a great program and we should continue it.
Okay, I agree. Member Feichtfeller.
I think we should continue this project as well. However, I think that since the seniors are helping out a lot with the junior project just because it's something everyone can help with, but I'm not sure what the juniors can really assist with for the senior project unless Claire has them do something. I think it should maybe be headed by a junior if they'd be willing, just because they might have a little less to focus on for the project since it's a
Yeah.
communal thing.
No, I agree. I mean, I would love to have two people work on it because Montserrat is a senior and another junior would be great as well. I know we're missing some of our junior members. So, do I have to take a vote on this and then make a motion, or can I just?
I might just first go down the line
Yes.
and get consensus if everybody wants to continue, and then somebody can,
Okay,
if you want to do the motion, you can.
okay. So, your timer's
If,
just,
if Member Mercis and Chair Brown wants to just go down the
Okay.
line and
yes.
just say if you want to continue the reach out program, yes or no?
Okay. Perfect, thank you. So, Member Bice, would you like to continue the reach out program? Yes. Member Jacks, yes. Member Johnson?
Yes.
Vice Chair Brown? Yes. Member Monso Perez? Member Sanchez?
Yes.
Member Vargas? Member Zapata Vasquez? Okay, yay, I'm very glad. I really like that project. And then this is another thing, for these presentations, we would like to have as many members as possible, but this is something that it's most of the time, almost right after school or like a little bit right after school, so I know not everyone can be in attendance. As long as we have at least like 3 people there out of the whole council would be great. So, and yeah, we only need to go to 2 more schools in the future. We can see what we would do with this project from then, but yes. I was also gonna say, well, actually I'll make a motion and I'll say it. Okay. And then, Monso Perez, you would be willing to head it. Is there any junior member that would like to assist? You guys can both help. Okay, so Member Bice and Member Jacks, you guys were both interested? Okay, perfect. So, did I miss anyone over here? Okay, just want to make sure. So, yes, Member Johnson.
Are we also gonna have somebody from last year, like a senior member, also help just so they know kind of?
I'll be
Okay,
helping.
got it.
I should, as long as the dates work out with me, I should probably be at every presentation, both presentations, yes.
I'm not like 100% yet, but I leave school a little earlier, so I'd probably be able to go to both of them and like
Yes.
help out.
Okay. And that is one thing I'm going to say. I'll make a motion, then I'll say my thoughts. Okay. So, do I have a motion to continue the school reach out program in the 2025-26 term, along with having Monso Perez, Member Bice, and Member Jacks as head of this project? Vice Chair Brown.
I motion to continue the project with the heads of the committee.
Is there a second? Member Jacks.
I second this motion.
Vice Chair Brown made the motion. Member Jacks seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so what I was going to say is, Monso Perez, now that we are continuing this project, and then create a group chat with the 2 of them, and then also reach out to schools right away. I will get into contact with Member Wittich from last term to explain exactly how he worded the emails, how we got in contact. I'm pretty sure Cape Coral High School specifically said they were wanting to, but it was towards the end of the year and they didn't have time. So,
Did you guys go to the whole school or just a student council?
I think it was just SGA, yeah.
Because I'm part of SGA, so I
So
can
now,
definitely talk.
perfect, okay. So I think he was emailing the advisor, so I'll make sure those emails get exchanged. And then C, it's the beginning of the year, so as early as possible, or we have time throughout this whole council, as long as by the time it's our last day in April, we have visited those 2 schools, that would be the goal. Member Sanchez?
This is just an addition to what we're doing. So because we already visited the other 4 schools, I think it's still important for since we have representation from all the schools, that we still talk to like try to advertise as much as possible for youth council. So even though we're not going there, like we can like talk to our friends about it and talk to like the student government and like teachers, just so they can like really get the word out there, since we're not going to be going back to those schools already.
Yeah.
But there's going to be like incoming juniors and incoming like
Yeah. Right around the time when applications come out, we send like flyers and everything to schools, but especially if you are on the council now, we always need more junior members, maybe senior members, as whatever. So it is always your job as a member of the council to represent us and try and work involved. Yes, Member Ron's
One last question. Do you know what the other school is that is in Cape Coral?
Mariner.
Mariner.
Yeah, and I do not remember the status on them. I will be honest, they are a hard school to be in contact with. I know the boat drive last year, it was harder to get in contact with them. So if you need to go in person, it's harder for them to tell you no if you're there. But I would definitely try emailing, calling first, and see what goes from there. And then specifically ask about their SGA, if their SGA is busy, some other leadership club, NHS, something like that. Member Jax.
I think it'll be easier for me to get in contact
Yeah.
on because I go there.
Yeah.
And I also used to be part of SGA, so I know like the teachers and everything.
Perfect. That's great. And then will we still have one of you guys like to come to our presentations and?
Yes, I was just telling Councilmember Laster that encouraging her to go to both these schools, because I really enjoyed it, and I would love to just sit in there and listen. Just don't schedule them on a Wednesday.
Yes, most of the time they were on Tuesdays after
Yeah.
school.
Tuesdays are good.
Tuesdays, so if you can, Tuesdays. And then Assistant City Attorney.
Just send the dates whenever you have them, and we will at least attempt to have someone from our office attend.
Okay.
I will try to be there as well, but just for now, just send the dates.
Of course. Thank you. Okay. Is there any more discussion on the school reach out program? Okay, perfect. Okay. I will now move on to item 11G, Lovelock's continued discussion, and I will turn over the floor to Administrator Contact, Ms. Griglet.
Thank you, Chair. Just very briefly, I know at our last meeting there was discussion that we might have had a company that was willing to assist us in our project. Unfortunately, due to some miscommunication regarding how the project was going to be installed and so forth, that company is no longer able to help us. So unfortunately, we are back at square one, and I just want to put it out there as a reminder to everybody that this particular company that we're looking for, we're hoping that they are willing to donate their time and materials. We have enough for the coding, but we're not looking to fundraise or do anything to assist in the project. We're just hoping that, like the original company that we had, are willing to donate their time. So I just wanted to make sure that that was clear on the record of what we're trying to obtain.
Thank you, Ms. Griglet.
Member Jax.
So we are not buying their time, like we're just.
No, we're hoping that somebody is willing to just step up to the plate and is going to offer their services to the youth council.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so then Member Feichthaler, Member Jax, that list that you guys were going down, continue emailing them, making it known that they are donating our time and we are not paying for them for our time. Okay? And then, and materials. We are not paying for anything. We're not raising money. Well, we have money for the coding.
Yes, let's make that clear.
Yeah.
They're donating their time and materials. We have the funds available for the afterwards of the painting of the coding.
So once it's already built.
Exactly, once it's already built. Of course, we know we have the location, but we need somebody that's willing to step up to the plate with materials and their time.
That being said, if anyone has connections with a welder, I know we have new people on this council, or any company, the more opportunities, the better. We have a list right now, but if you're close with someone, it's obviously easier. Okay, so then, yes, Member Jax.
We received another company after like the initial company failed, or not failed.
Yes.
You know. But we have hope with their company. I just didn't do anything just in case we could get the initial
Okay.
company resolved. So we could come in contact with the
Then
second company.
let them know then our circumstances and everything.
Let it
Okay, perfect. So then you guys continue working on that and we'll have more updates at the next meeting.
Chair, real quick.
Yes.
Since you're working on this project, call Charlie Pease out at the Cape Tech School. I don't know if they have a welding program or not, but
I
they
believe
might.
they do. I think, yeah, there's someone at my school that I think's going there.
Yeah, so check with them because that might be a nice avenue to, if they don't do it, they might have recommendations.
Would we
Yeah.
be able to maybe have them do the time and get the materials from somewhere else?
Yeah,
Split it up, and maybe that would be more
possibly,
Attainable.
willing to do that just for the other.
yeah, just a thought.
Is there any more discussion? Okay. I will now move on to item 11H, FLC Youth Council Summit. At the last meeting, administrative contact Ms. Gerglin informed us of the FLC Youth Council Summit taking place on November 8th, 2025 in Neelan, Florida. This summit would be a chance for us to grow as leaders as well as build a stronger bond as a council. We will be driving up the night before and all expenses will be covered. Administrative contact Mrs. Gerglin then asked us if we would ask all our parents to see if we'd be allowed to go and if that was something we were interested in. So, is there any questions for myself or Ms. Gerglin regarding this? Member Johnson, yes.
I mean, it's not really a question, but I have something to say. So as of right now, I think I can go, but I have a football game that's like TBD. So like if it does, I should know within the next month if I can, but I can't for sure tell you until I know if I have that football game. I
Understand.
just wanted to let you know, so sorry about that.
No,
Perfect, appreciate it.
Okay. Yes, Member Sanchez.
Is this like an event that you want everyone to be there, or is it like a certain amount of people that can come?
As many people as can
Correct,
come.
the trip is open to the entire council, so as many as you want to go are allowed to go. There will be a certain cutoff time that I will need to know because obviously I need to figure out transportation.
Yeah, so I was gonna do a head count. So as of right now, who thinks they will be able to attend? Raise your hand. Okay, let me just write that down really quick. Okay, Zapata Vasquez. Yes, Member Sanchez, your question?
Is it possible to drive up with your parents?
Absolutely. I mean, I've had other trips where the parents have driven their student to the location. That's, that's absolutely, you can do that. I just obviously need to know ahead of time how to, once again, to plan the transportation. But yes, you are not required to come on the bus or whatever. We take transportation up there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Member Vargas and Member Sanchez, you guys are good to go? Okay, Vice Chair Brown, okay. Johnson, I'm also going to be in attendance. Member Vice? Okay, so I'll just write you down for now, and then Member Feithaler and Member Dax, you can't? It's okay. That's fine. Okay, and then I'll also reach out to everyone that is not here to ask them again. Miss Gerglin, when is the set date we need to know everyone that is coming or around?
I don't have that date yet because I don't have much information besides obviously the agenda and what I put as part of the backup material. So when I know that I am at a dead set time, because obviously I don't even have hotel information, so we still have plenty of time, but that is why I also, as part of the backup material, have given you guys is the hold harmless agreements. If you know you're coming, start filling those out, because we can't do anything until you sign those hold harmless agreements. I can't even put you down as a yes, you're willing to go. But as I know more dates, I will update you. So that is why it's very important that you are checking your emails daily. I'm not asking you to be in them all day, but as long as you just check your emails at night to see if I have sent anything that's of time-sensitive importance.
Yes. So if we're for sure, yes.
If
fill
you
out
know for
those
sure
emails.
you are going and your parents have, then start filling out the forms, though, because obviously I need to do stuff with those forms as well on my end, so yes. Yes, Member Johnson.
If we fill out the forms for the Tallahassee, is it the same forms or did you do them again?
No, you must do a form for each and every trip.
Got it.
Yes.
And those forms are in your agenda, under under the schedule for what we would be doing. So, yes. Is there any more questions? Okay. So, we will now be moving on to item 11I, committee meeting debrief. At the last meeting, we decided to host an additional committee meeting with City Council member Nelson Lastra, focusing on the financial aspects of our project as well as our up-and-coming meet and greet taking place on September 18th at Nice Guys Pizza from 5:30 to 7:30. This meeting took place on August 2nd, and we will now go over each section we discussed. Starting with Vice Chair Brown, she'll be going over the information we decided on for the Hope for the Holidays project.
Thank you, Chair. Hope for the Holidays, I spoke with my representative at Children's Network yesterday and clarified a few things. We are targeting younger children, so primarily toys, but there is also a need for stocking stuffers for older kids because those needs aren't usually met, so smaller items like toiletries or hygiene products, even makeup. But primarily toys are going to be advertised because I believe that those would be easier for people to find and donate easily. There's about 1,500 kids expected to be in care during the holiday season. It's a part of their Operation Santa, so they usually do distribution December 9th through the 11th. So I believe we would have to deliver our donations by December 8th. But they also get kids last minute all the way up to December 24th. So anything we collect up until I believe the December 20th drive-in, we can still donate. The office is closed, I believe the 24th, so we can get in the next day, the 21st, up to the 23rd. We are now a part of an email group, and it includes a flyer and any updates he has. He's going to put me in contact with people who can assist us just getting everything transported as we get closer to the date, and I'm just going to remain in contact with him and update him as we continue progressing with this project. I believe we're getting trees put up in City Hall and the Youth Center, so those two locations are confirmed, and it's opening on our drive-in October 17th, I believe. So I started making flyers. We can start distributing those or posting those as we get closer to the opening date. But I believe we're discussing it and introducing it at the meet and greet as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Do we have to wrap them?
no,
No.
we don't have to wrap them.
Is it appropriate, Mr. City Attorney, if we reached out to a particular department in City Hall and asked them to sponsor the teams? So for example, if I went to Mr. City Manager's office and said, hey, we're doing this fundraiser and I need a department to sponsor teenagers, would you guys help donate these items for our drive? Is that appropriate?
Let me look into that.
Okay, because if we're gonna have boxes in City Hall, I was hoping I could just target specific departments for the older children, just because, do you have a count? You don't have a count on that, do you? No. I think I can help with that, but I just wanna know if there's specific departments I could target just to specifically give to the teenagers. Only because that's a little bit more, that's just requires a little bit more, I guess, supervision to get those kinds of gift cards and makeup and toiletry items. And I can, if I can target some departments within City Hall, if I'm allowed to, I'd like to try to do that. Thank you.
I was going to say, if you could, since we want to do one at the youth center, email Miss Rams to ask if we're even allowed, because I know we can have a tree here for sure, right, Miss Scriglin?
So similar, if you, I understand the juniors weren't here, but what we did last year for the junior project was a book drive. So obviously when we created the flyers specifically said that there were gonna be boxes located at City Hall and at the youth center. And then I had a table downstairs in the main lobby, and I am able to solicit the whole entire city of Cape Coral employees, and they are allowed to put we can let them know what items. Obviously, for the books, we specifically said we needed books for this age group. And then they didn't have to come to me, they just, dropped them in the boxes. And then I made sure that those boxes were picked up on a weekly basis, so of course they weren't overflowing or making, the city hall, look messy in any way. So that is an option for us, right? I mean, once we know it's set, I can let the city clerk know what we're doing, and then yes, we will have that same access granted to us.
Okay, perfect. And then on that same note, we are gonna need to like create the boxes and we wrap them like last year. So I would try to, along with asking, well, first, if we can, do the the boxes at the youth center. Ask her if there's a date that we can set up the boxes and wrap them, because that's what we did with the book drive last year. We went to the youth center, all of us came, we wrapped the boxes, got them ready, and then we put them out. So, and refresh my memory, are we trying to start collecting things at the meet and greet, or no yet, right?
No.
Okay, so as soon as possible for that, obviously, so we just have the boxes ready, so whenever we start collecting, we'll be ready. Okay. Yes.
And we only need 2 boxes?
Yes.
Okay, then we really, honestly,
yeah.
we don't need to, we don't need to waste anybody's time in setting up.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody can come to our office, they can use my conference room, wrap the 2 boxes, and then obviously one of them staying with me and who's ever taken it to you. So just,
Yeah,
I know, with school events and everything going on, we don't need to dedicate another time for that.
No, that, yes. Okay, and then another topic we discussed at the committee meeting was the National League of Cities. So Liaison Nelson and Advisor Griglin created a sponsorship letter for members to send out. This letter will have a QR code for our donations. It leads to our GoFundMe page, that's why we need to take a picture later. Advisor Griglin is working on utilizing Youth Council's previous GoFundMe, And then companies who donate a significant amount will get their logo printed on a t-shirt. So when we are advertising this project, if you know someone that's gonna be a huge donor, let them know that if you donate a significant amount, they can put their business, their name on our t-shirt. And then this we would wear at the conference. And then a big thing is that Advisor Griglin gave us a document, a little piece of paper on how much it would cost per person to attend, and it would raise about, it would take about $1,600 per person. So specifically for the National League of Cities, if we had, I think 11 people or something like that come, it would be around $18,000, I believe. So that is something to keep in mind. That's why we want to make sure our meet and greet is super successful and our other donating opportunities are super successful, because if we do want to go National League of Cities, it is a lot, and we ourselves do not want to pay anything out of pocket. And then another thing, specifically, okay. I think that's basically everything regarding the National League of Cities. Advisor Nelson Lasher, do you have anything specifically about the?
Yes, so make sure the letters that Ms. Griglin put together, you can personalize those. And as I mentioned to the group last Saturday, one of the things you want to do is you want to talk to your parents. Any of your parents that have contacts, any of your parents that know small business owners that would sponsor, we would be happy to put logos on the back of t-shirts. Make sure that you tell your parents about this meet and greet and that they tell all their friends, so that like all their firefighter friends can come and donate. It's really important that your parents are aware of this and what we're trying to do, and if they can help support us in any way, that would be great. I know that every family situation is different. I grew up in a single family household. That's my mom back there. Trips like this were not possible for us, so we had to raise money. So anything that, you guys can do with your friends, supports your friends' parents, please encourage that. And I believe, Ms. Griglin, you stated that we don't necessarily have a QR code, but we have to do the GoFundMe, is that correct?
So no, so as part of the backup material, you will see that I've already created, what's gonna be on the main page of the GoFundMe page. And the QR code, this would be the actual QR code, but I do not want us to submit it out to our social media pages because I was hoping to get a main group picture today for it. And then we also wanted to share a quote from everybody in regards to that.
Yeah, so one of the things that we had discussed is that, so the social media person, she left. So the social media people, this is really important for them. So one of the things that makes social media so successful with crowd sharing and with GoFundMes is that it's being strategically shared. So it's continually shared. And each time it's shared, we want to add something different. Like we want to highlight, 3 of you with a quote on why you're a part of this group and why you want to go to Washington, D.C. It would also be really great to have a video like of a project like the trash project. Did anyone take a video? Do you know if anyone took a video of you guys doing trash? Because that would be something like, and even a video like at the kickoff. So each time that the post goes up, it's not just the same, it's the same information, but it's a different photograph. It's highlighting a different member. Those are the things that I would, recommend for your social media to do, because that's going to be crucial. And then, of course, making sure that you all are sharing that on your Instas and your TikToks and your Snappies, whatever you got. Facebook is what I do. So I'll share it on my Facebook, but I think it would be really helpful if we can change it up. Like just, get a quote from you guys, send it to Miss Griglin, and then, when we're at some of these events together, we're going to be shooting video. Like we need to shoot a video at Nice Guys. We need to do it at the October event. We need to do it Trunk or Treat. We need to do it at every single event. Just a little 10, 15-minute video, and then we add it on there, so then the next time it gets shared, hey, our GoFundMe, we're trying to raise, 20 grand or 18 grand, and, it has a compelling video. And then being able to just continue to make that different is what's gonna bring people in every time. It's gonna engage new people to donate. So
Yes.
that's kind of the thought process behind it.
Completely agree. So what I'll have is I'll put it on the to-do list that will be sent out next week, is for everyone to write a little quote or just say, I want to go to the National League of Cities because of this. Youth Council is important to me because of this. And then that will be due when all the backup materials due, or maybe even earlier. I'll figure that out. And then you would just write that and send it to me and Miss Griglin in an email. Is that understood by everyone? Okay.
Yeah. So I think.
And then I'll let Monso Perez know.
If you look at this to-do list.
Yes.
Ms. Connie put together a pretty good, list of to-do. And we could even, take videos of some of you talking about why you want to go to DC and why you're a part of this group and what it means to you.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that's going to pull at the heartstrings and make people give money, that's the goal. That's what you want to do. You want people to be compelled to give you money.
Yeah, of course. So, yes, I'll reach out to Monso Perez and Brielle, our communications director, and we'll start working on that immediately. Okay, and then Member Johnson, if you would like to go over specifically for our meet and greet, our updates for that. Yes.
I'm going to start with just kind of an overview of our meet and greet and what's kind of going to look like, and some things that Greg, the owner, discussed with us. So, okay, here it is. So if none of you have been in Nice Guys, there's 2 parts of the restaurant. So there's one part where it's like the bar and where you're going to eat. The other part's kind of like an event room, if I'm not mistaken. We are only allowed to be in that event room. So we can't go into the restaurant and go up to tables and be like, hey, can you donate? We're not going to do that. So just so everybody knows, we're going to stay in that part of the section, decorate it, make it pretty, make it fancy, raise $1 billion. Okay. Then another thing is we will have multiple people talk at the event. So we'll talk about the Mental Health Project, the League of Cities, we'll talk about our Hope for the Holidays, we'll talk about all the things, make sure everybody knows like who we are, what we're doing, that we do multiple projects throughout the year. We are very involved with our community, so hopefully it gets people to donate to us. And then also he's a full sound system for us to use, so we can play music, we can talk to the microphone, all that. And then now that I mentioned decorations, at our committee meeting, we talked about posters. So I was thinking we could have one maybe outside, one inside. I am working on having somebody donate, definitely one, if not two. If I do not have anybody donate them, I will donate them. I'm kind. So I will do that. We'll have at least 1 or 2 posters that we can hang up there. And those can be used for any event, future event. If we do another meet and greet, if we do a booth, we can hang it on the table. Those will be good to have. And then, was that it?
We talked about a balloon arch.
Yes, so I found a balloon arch and this like backdrop type thing, and I sent it to Miss Griglin, the Amazon links for that.
Okay, and you'll send it to me? I'll donate that.
Okay.
And then, real quick, sorry to
You're good.
interrupt.
I think that's it, unless I forgot
I
something.
think
Yeah.
you did too. There was, oh crap, there was one thing I was gonna say about that meet and greet and, oh, do you think they have a screen and we can bring a laptop, mine? Do you think, are any of you creative enough to put a PowerPoint together so we can get it on a loop or a Canva? Can somebody
Yeah.
volunteer to do that? Like, I want a PowerPoint with like your little faces on there smiling.
Pictures.
Like years of a youth council.
Yeah.
Go way back, like pull a bunch of pictures and like, if you can, like just so we have like a rolling loop of like all of the stuff. And then, you know, the bulk of the slides obviously will be your group, but that way we have that growing in the background, like up on the stage, up on the screen, so that way, you know, it's constantly
Yeah.
going. So as people are mingling, they're not just looking at a blank stage and a blank wall. I'll have, I'll ask Greg, I'll remind Greg, or make me remember to ask Greg to get that screen out so that we have it. And then that way we'll have like a rolling loop of youth council stuff, like fun pictures.
Yeah.
And
If they're
I
in.
did drop off the flyers, so there's both laminated and unlimited flyers at Nice Guys that they will hopefully hang up and promote that way.
And then are we able to get the things for the table so that we have the QR codes on the table for the GoFundMe?
The acrylic
Yeah.
shelf thingies?
I got the frames. I have a bunch of frames. We can put them in. Will we have that? Will we be able to have the QR code? It's done. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll print it out and put it in
You'll
there.
print it out?
Yes.
Yeah, but we have to have something cute with it. Like it has to say like,
We'll make it cute.
okay.
Okay.
This is good. This is why God invented children. Go ahead.
Chair, I want to state something, and I want to make sure that it's on record, and I want to make sure people understand if I'm reading this correctly. So this is actually first in regards to Mrs. Lastra. So the letter that I created for your two, that is the one that you want all of them to use, and obviously we would just, okay, so I understand
I
that.
mean, they can use that one. They can use this one. Like it's
Okay.
whatever you think. I mean, if we keep it consistent, whatever you guys think.
Okay. And so obviously, there's a key point here that I highlighted, and I want to make sure everyone understood that we're asking each member who wishes to attend the conference is responsible for raising $1,800. Did we all catch that as part of our backup material? Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that's clear in what we're asking each of you who would like to attend.
Well, yeah. I mean, what the goal? Like, we really need to set a goal. So we need to figure out like what we have, how many events, and so we should figure out we need to raise $18,000. How many events do we have? 5, 6. So if we have 6 events, we need to try to raise $3,000 at each event. And then we'll just see where we are. You know, if we have to do more events or we have to do more fundraising efforts, we'll do it. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's going to be $1,800 a person. So keep that in mind. My goal.
Oh, sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No.
So the key thing I want you to understand in this is that if you have a sponsor who is willing to donate, or I can create a blank slated letter and then you guys can fill in that information. But that's what we're saying. We're giving you guys the tools. You'll have a letter that's specifically asking for the donation portion of it. And then obviously as you go to these organizations, if they want to, you know, then that's they can. A lot of them, I will also tell you that they might ask for the city's tax EIN number, I believe it's called. We have one of those, so I can also supply you with those, because then I believe that allows them to write that as a tax write-off for them. So that is something that is available to them. So what I'm saying is I will send out a blank slated letter, but I want you guys to understand what that letter is meant for, okay? You would just fill in the information as to who's donating those funds to you. Obviously, any funds that are donated, if they're giving a check, it's always made out to the City of Cape Coral Youth Council. Nobody's name, City of Cape Coral Youth Council.
Right.
Okay.
And then the QR codes, the purpose for those is to put them out and about. So as we're speaking, you remind people. I did ask, what's your name? Mr. Hayden. I did ask him if he would reach out to the, sorry, Tom. That's what I want to call you. But anyway, I asked him to talk to the mayor, but I actually already did. He said he'd do it. So he'll do the welcome. And then, what did I tell him he had to do, Connie?
I wasn't in the room, so I'll let you go.
Oh, I said, and then you're going to kick it off and you're going to make the first donation of $1,000. He laughed at me, but he will kick it off with something. So just remind everybody who speaks, just before you leave, say, oh, and by the way, don't forget our QR codes. We need money. Thank you. Like, just hit people up all the time and tell all your friends and their families. Thank you.
You can go, Member Johnson, I'll say what I'm saying.
One of the things I forgot to ask is, Advisor Hayden, could we get together to get an article out with either like the Breeze or the news or
We need a
something?
press release.
And release it, whether it be like the news or on the newspaper, whatever.
I'm gonna call Valerie at the Breeze on Monday
Okay.
and have her assign a reporter to call,
Okay.
you or the chair, or you guys
Okay.
decide who would like to talk.
Okay.
Probably be a couple of you.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
yeah, I'm sure she'll do a nice story.
Got it.
on
Thank you.
Can you write a press release that goes out everywhere?
Okay. So I have a couple of things. One, so when it, actually, I'll wait. Okay, first, okay, so you said, Member Johnson, there's like 2 sections. Is it like, I guess, is it like gonna be, do we need like a sign to show people where to go, or is it gonna be like obvious, like the event room?
It'll be obvious, the only thing I really said is so we know we can't go into the restaurant and ask people for donations.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's gonna be a split, there's gonna be a difference, like, you're eating here, you're doing here. We'll also announce it, but I kinda just said it because I wanna make sure we all know we can't.
Yes.
You're going to need greeters.
Yes.
2 greeters, so if people walk in the door, you're like,
Yes.
here, this is our youth council. You want to welcome them as they come in the door. So you need a couple greeters.
Okay. Member Jax.
I was thinking like, yeah, multiple people in multiple areas. We know where people are going and where not to go. Have someone
Yeah.
on that.
And then Miss Griglin. So for the National League of Cities, is it like we raise an amount of money and then we pay for everything and then we decide to go, like, are we gonna pay for it now and then we hopefully raise that money, and if not, someone has to like pay it, like, does that make sense? Like,
So obviously, our particular budget, meaning the line item for the youth council, I do not have enough in our
of
budget.
course,
to
yeah,
do-
yeah, yeah.
So obviously, right, so the whole purpose of this is to hopefully, everything is gonna get paid for the National League of Cities trip, and then we won't have to look at what is our option B. Obviously, we're not, by then, the good news is the National League of Cities is not till next March.
Yeah.
Okay?
So there's not like a
we
sign up
already
date
are
or
going to
anything?
know, hey, did we do a great job fundraising? Are we able to go now? I mean, nothing's gonna get planned. No hotels are gonna get
Okay,
booked, no
that's just
airlines. Nothing is gonna happen because we know it's not till next March.
Okay.
Yes.
To kind of piggyback on what you said earlier, that everyone's expected to raise their own $1,800, I would say by the end of the year, December 31st, we see how much we have. And then if any of you are able to pay for your $1,800, super, let us know ASAP so we know that. And then we'll have this pot of money by December 31st, and then we'll say, okay, this is how much we have, each one of you gets this. this is how much you would have to contribute. Or try to fundraise before we can get tickets. Yes.
I don't wanna say this like in the wrong way, because I know like we're all.
Just say
we're all
it.
in this together, but what if we got a sponsorship from somebody specifically for like my $1,800?
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Is that
report it right away so we take you out of the mix.
So then I
Now-
can say, okay, like I got this sponsorship for $5,000,
Yes.
but it's also covering mine.
And
Yeah.
Like,
So the 1,800 and then the 3,200 goes in the pot.
okay.
yes.
I like it. Do that. Make that
Just-
happen.
And just so that you know,
Yes.
the assistant city attorney is checking in to make sure that we can do it this way.
Right.
So, but proceed with, if you know of a company or a business that may want to sponsor you, and this happens all the time, the chamber does it with teachers, where they'll get a business sponsor teacher for their luncheon. So, continue on, but, we'll always make sure that we're doing everything
Yes.
legally and ethically, and
Okay,
And tell them we'll give them shout outs and thank yous on social media. And if they want to stick a logo on a shirt, we'll figure out a
yeah, you
shirt
could wear that, yeah.
with
that's-
all the logos of who helped.
yes. Okay, and then I just want to remind everyone that National League of Cities is March 13th to March 16th. And we should have off of school. I checked the calendar. So it's that Friday until that whole week is spring break. So just keep that date in mind. Hopefully we can go, we'll raise enough money. So so March 13th to March 16th. And then, the presentation. So, Ms. Gerlin, will you, whoever volunteers to do the presentation, give us access to like all the older photos, like from years to come? Do you have those saved anywhere?
Yes, I have obviously tons of photos.
Yeah.
I will just have to figure out what kind of drive to put them on and how I can share them.
Okay.
There's options out there, I just have to
I just want to make sure.
just think about it.
Yeah. So is anyone willing to make this presentation? Member Jax? Is there anyone? Vice Chair Brown? Okay, perfect. I just wanted 2 people to work on it. Okay, so then this will be due by the time the next back of materials due. And yeah, it'll just be a presentation with pictures, videos if we have any, all things like that, so that it'll run on replay. I'll work with you guys on that too, but yeah, perfect. Okay, let me make a motion for that. So, do I have a motion to have Vice Chair Brown and Member Jax work on a presentation for our meet and greet? Member Sanchez?
I motion to have Member Jax and Vice Chair Brown work on the presentation for our meet and greet.
Okay, is there a second? Member Feichbeller?
I second that.
Member Sanchez made the motion, Member Feichbeller seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, perfect. And then, is there any more discussion on the meet and greet specifically? This isn't another event like the quarterly report that I would like as many people as possible to be at. It is a meet and greet. They want to meet us. We're advertising for 17 people to go, and if 3 end up going, it's just not going to be good luck. Especially, we're going to need people to greet the door. We're going to want people to talk. At our next committee meeting, we'll discuss who's going to be speaking and what. But yeah, that's just keep in mind that date is a Thursday. We want as many people as possible. Okay, and then the last thing we discussed, which is also the next item on our list, we were talking about, we'll get more in depth to it in a second, but trunk or treat, that is October 24th. And something we were discussing at the committee was having a mumming wrapping competition at our booth. And that would be like $5 entry, another way to raise money. And then the winner could receive full-size candy bars, something of that sort. So if you have any opinions on that, but that was something we were thinking. We'll get into trunk or treat in a second too, but that is just something we're discussing. Any discussion? Okay, and then regarding the next date of a committee meeting, I know we were originally thinking September 6th. I just had something come up and that will no longer work for me. So if there's an additional, the Saturday before that, I think it's August 30th, that would work for me, but I don't know if that works with Councilmember Nessel-Astra or for anyone else. So the date for the committee meeting, does the 30th work for you?
The 30th of August?
Yes.
Let me look.
Because we could also do the 13th, that's just closer to.
No, yes, the 30th does work.
Okay, so we have it off there, so does the 30th work for the committee meeting with everyone? Member Feichtballer?
I'll be out of state during that time.
Well, that's
Okay.
okay, yeah. We're just gonna finalize.
It's okay. If you can't make it, you can't make it. I'll let other people know. Ms. Gerlin, does that day work with you, the 30th in the conference room? Member Zapata Vasquez?
If you weren't able to like, go to the first one, can you go to this one as well?
Yes, of course. It
I
wasn't.
wasn't able to go to the first one because of
Everyone's-
work.
We really like the committee meeting because being on here on the dais, so there's so many members, it's harder to like hone in on specific things, but it gave us a chance to work directly on what we wanted and move forward. So, yeah, so I'll make a motion for that then. Okay, so do I have a motion to have our next committee meeting take place on August 30th? From 9 to 11 in the conference room. Vice Chair Brown,
A motion to confirm the next community meeting date.
is there a second? Member Jax?
I second this motion.
Vice Chair Brown made the motion. Member Jax seconded it. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, beautiful. So then, is there any more discussion on the committee meeting overall? Something we forgot to mention? Or can we move on to the next item? Okay, perfect. So, item 11J is trunk or treat. So each year, the Youth Council hosts a trunk for the trunk or treat event the city puts on. This year, the trunk or treat is set to take place on October 24th, which is a Friday. At this event, we choose one theme to decorate our vehicle, and then we all try to dress up in that matching theme. For example, and you can see in our backup material pictures, last year we did a Harry Potter theme, and we all wore a Harry Potter costume to match. So, at this time, if anyone has any ideas that they would like to present, please share now. It could be something super broad, super niche, something kids will like, obviously nothing gory or anything. I really liked an Inside Out idea. Someone mentioned that last year, and I thought that would be really cute. It's the one with the emotions, like joy, sadness.
Oh, that's
So then we could all dress up in as emotions, especially with the second movie, there's a lot more options with that. So I thought that was really cute. But if anyone else, Member Sanchez?
We could do a Monsters Inc. one and have like doors and dress up as like the monsters and different
Yeah,
monsters and stuff.
that'd be really cute. Okay, let me write down, okay. Inside Out. And then keep in mind, we would try to make a lot of the decorations so we don't have to like break the bank. But like there's a few things that we can buy, but let's think of themes that we can actually make also. So we use Miss Gerglin's car, yes. And then if we are going to do the mummy competition, we will have probably like an additional table next to the car to work for that as well. So any other ideas everyone's thinking of? Member Vargas?
I feel like superheroes is really simple.
Like DC or Marvel? I don't know really the difference, but I know people care.
I don't know.
Okay, so just superheroes in general. Okay. Oh. Member Jax, did you have an idea? Okay. Member Sanchez?
We could also do Minions, like
Minions
Despicable
would be
Me.
really cute. Yeah. Okay. I did that in second grade, sorry. Okay, so right now our ideas are Inside Out, Monsters Inc., Superhero, and Minions. Is there any more ideas, or we can go right into a vote? Member Jack?
I think we should still think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, because we have our next meeting, September, and the October meeting would be before then. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but we'd have to pick someone who's, Member Feichtballer?
I'm fine either way. I just remember that last year we said at the meeting before our vote that we wanted people to think of ideas, and then at the September meeting, we voted on it. And then October is when we planned
Okay.
on who was gonna paint boxes and whatever.
Yeah, okay, and since we're on numbers here. Okay, so I'll write in our to-do list for people to think of more ideas, and I'll put in our current ideas of Inside Out, Monsters Inc., superheroes, Minions. Is there any more final ideas? Member Johnson.
With that, should we have the people who had the idea of whatever one to come up with ideas for decorations and everything?
Oh,
So
yeah,
we-
that'd
so
be
we
an
can
option.
hear, what they have and price range and everything like that, just so we can, maybe it helps people make a
Yeah.
decision on what we do.
So a little proposal.
Ideas on what people can dress up on, where we could get our things, what we use, stuff like that.
I love that. Okay, and then my next question regarding the mummy wrapping competition. Ms. Kirkland, do you think, do we have to ask anybody about that, or is that something we can just decide to do on our own?
No, I mean, because we'll have, like I said, my intention is when the email opens up that I want a space, I'm going to explain to them that I'm hoping to have a larger space than just your typical one that we had last year. I believe it was 3 years ago, we actually created a game ourselves, so we had it next to our booth.
Oh, okay.
So the games are doable. I don't need to ask or anything, the game
Even
just
if we're
has
asked
to
for
make
money?
sure that, right, it's kid-friendly and obviously safe, which that would
Okay.
be very safe.
And are we allowed to ask for donations? Then, because it was gonna be a $5 entry fee, and I know it's a free event, so that's,
I will put the stamp of approval on it, who I need to, just to be sure that we can do that.
What we're gonna, I think the way to get around that is we say, we offer it as a donation. Would you like to participate in our mummy contest? We're asking for a $5 donation, but it's not required. That way
Okay.
you don't make people feel uncomfortable if they're expecting a free event. And maybe they don't have money because they have 6 kids or whatever, you know what I mean? And then you just roll with it.
so we'll
you
have
know?
our QR code there or something?
Yeah, you just say, hey, we're trying to raise money for our DC trip. Would you like to participate? We're just asking for a $5 donation. It's not required. We're just asking. And I think that's how you get around it. Is that right? No? Yeah? Yeah, we're suggesting a donation.
My only worry is how much toilet paper we're gonna need, because that's,
I got a guy.
oh,
I got a guy.
perfect. If we have a toilet paper guy, that's perfect.
I got a guy. I need to reach out to him. I will write myself a note to do that, and see if we can get maybe cases of
Yeah.
a pallet of toilet paper in
Yeah.
cases like the Sam size
Yeah,
donated.
okay.
I will inquire.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So then, Member Sanchez, yes? Yeah. It would be right next to it, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if we have extra, that could work. Okay, cool, I like that. Okay, so so we have our ideas right now. I'll add that to-do list, and then next meeting, the September meeting, we will vote on our idea. And then whoever's idea does get chosen, they'll be the head of the project, so they'll just come over. And then, Ms. Kirkland, we should be able to have a day that we can create any decorations or something like that, like we did last year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, once we know everything's finalized and you guys have created a date, the conference room in our office is open very, very much a lot in the afternoon, so
Okay,
there's no issues with you come into our office and using that.
perfect. Okay, so is there any final discussion? Okay, moving forward to item 12, next meeting agenda topics. When it comes to the agenda of the next meeting, I recommend we keep items B through I and remove A because we already decided on who's gonna be our backup communications director. Is there any discussion on that? Oh, I mean B through, because trunk or treat was added, B through J. So, do I have a motion to adopt items B through J with the removal of item A for the meeting held on August 8th, 2025? Member Fiketh? Oh, yes, okay, let me redo that, okay. Do I have a motion to adopt items B and D through J with the removal of items A and C for the meeting held on August 8th, 2025? Member Fiketh?
Motion to adopt this agenda.
Is there a second? Member Zapata Vasquez?
I second that.
Member Fiketh made the motion and Member Zapata Vasquez seconded it. Are there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Item 13 is reports. There is currently, is there anything, yes, Member Johnson, you'd like to report?
Yes. So it's about a earlier thing we discussed, that I didn't speak up about, but I know she left already, but with us appointing a new, like, backup communications director, I think we just need to make sure that she knows her number, she knows the logins to all the accounts, there's only one account, log into the account, and then maybe they make like a calendar, like, okay, so I have to post for this, and this event, I have these holidays I need to post for, and make it so, okay, so who's gonna get done? If they get it done, cross it off. And just make sure they're working together, because we also don't want to overpower our communications director, because obviously it's her job, but just so they're in constant communication, they know what they're talking about, and they're doing it with each other. We need to also, they just need to know that we need to be posting about upcoming events constantly. I know she's been doing a really good job of posting about the meet and greet. I've seen her post
Yeah.
a bunch about that, encouraging and reminding people to donate once we have that link in there. And then also like all those like little holidays, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, all those holidays, doing little posts for that. And then also, along with those lines, we all need to be sharing those, even if it's like a repost, if you have parents have Facebook, send it to your parents to post. And then if either of them are not at the event, which Ms. Grigglin usually does this, but making sure we have pictures and videos to send to them, so like, be like, I know Ms. Grigglin usually includes that in her email, but be like, here's the videos and videos in here, please make a post, make a video montage, make a something. But I think one of the things maybe to add to the to-do list, because I know she's not here yet, is to make sure they both have each other's number and they make some kind of plan that maybe they can present at the next meeting with how they're going to be collabing with this new joint.
Yeah, I
If that makes
completely
sense.
agree. Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up. I will add that to the list. I'll get in contact, make sure they have those logins. Okay, is there anything else anyone would like to report? Okay. Item 14 is reports of the council liaisons and advisors. Is there any reports to be made?
The only thing, Member Johnson, did you want to set a deadline for the council to respond to the questionnaire?
Oh,
on
yes,
email?
thank you. Let me check the calendar.
Oh, for which questions we want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I will send them out by Sunday night, so that is the 10th. So maybe if everybody could give me an answer by the 17th, that gives you a week. Is that okay with everybody?
That should work. I'll put that on the to-do list as well. Make sure we're doing it across.
So I'll send that email out with all the questions on the 10th. I'll put a little description in there what I would like you to do from that, and then by the 17th, which is the following Sunday, just send me an email back and the questions you like, maybe a question you know for sure like that shouldn't be in there, just give me some guidance on it, and then I'll write up a draft with the questions, and then if everybody can just respond to that as well and just say yes or no, or maybe if any just kind of change you want to that. And then at the September meeting, we can obviously, I'll write up the thing, but if you want to change anything from there, we can do it then. But if I can get started on it, that'd be great.
Okay, perfect. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so I just want to remind all our members before we end this meeting is that we have to stay after to take a photo for the GoFundMe. So you can gather your stuff, maybe put them by the chairs, but we do need to take a photo so that we're represented. Okay, so Item 15 is time and place of future meetings. The next regular meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council is scheduled for Friday, September 12, 2025 at 3 p.m. in council chambers. Is there a motion to adjourn? Member Jax,
I motion to adjourn.
is there a second? Member Feichtfeller?
I second that.
Member Jax made the motion and Member Feichtfeller seconded it. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? This meeting is now adjourned.